You've been told that bread is the staff of life and the foundation of every healthy diet. What if that's the biggest nutritional lie of the century? Every morning, 300 million Americans reach for toast. Sandwiches fuel our lunches, and dinner rolls complete our evening meals. Bread is everywhere, but here's what they don't tell you. Modern bread is nothing like what your grandparents ate. The wheat has changed, the process has changed, and this is changing your body. I decided to find out what happens when you remove it completely from your life, and for 30 days, I ate zero bread, zero pasta, zero wheat. I was not prepared for what happened to my gut, my brain, my energy, and my weight. And science explains exactly why. By the end of the video, you'll understand exactly what bread is doing inside your body right now, and you will never look at it the same way again. Before we get to the results, you need to understand what modern bread actually is, because it's no longer just flour, water, and yeast. Pick up any commercial bread. The ingredient list reads like a chemistry experiment. Dough conditioners, preservatives, high fructose corn syrup, emulsifiers. But the biggest change is in the wheat itself. Modern wheat has been hybridized to achieve higher yields. It contains very different proteins than ancient wheat. One of those proteins is gliadin, and gliadin does something terrifying in your gut, like triggering the release of zonulin. Zonulin opens the tight junctions between your intestinal cells. Your gut becomes permeable, and things that should stay out start leaking into your bloodstream. This is called intestinal permeability, or as it's commonly known, leaky gut. And this happens to everyone who eats modern wheat, not just celiac patients. So what leaks into the blood? Bacterial fragments? Undigested food particles? Toxins. Your immune system sees these as invaders and attacks them. The result? A condition linked to almost all modern diseases. Chronic, low-grade inflammation throughout your entire body. And you don't feel any of this until you stop eating bread. Then, everything changes. Week 1. I'll be honest with you. Week 1 was tough. Day 1 and 2, the cravings hit very hard. Your brain is literally addicted to wheat. Gliadin breaks down into compounds called gliadorphins. Gliadorphins bind to the same receptors as opioids, narcotics. When you stop eating wheat, you experience a genuine withdrawal syndrome. This isn't a lack of willpower, it's biochemistry. Day 3 and 4, I felt mentally foggy, irritable, tired, but unable to sleep well. Classic withdrawal symptoms. I also experienced bloating at first. It sounds counterintuitive, right? But my gut bacteria that fed on wheat were starving to death. By day 5 and 6, something changed. The food cravings started to decrease. My body was adapting and finding new fuel sources. Day 7, I woke up and realized I didn't want bread. For the first time in decades, that irresistible urge was gone. I also noticed my belly was less bloated. There was no dramatic weight loss yet, but the inflammation was already subsiding, and my gut was starting to heal. If you try this, and the first week feels impossible to you, know that it gets easier. Much easier. Your brain just needs time to break free from the wheat addiction. Week 2. This is the phase where things get interesting. My energy levels stabilized. There were no more afternoon crashes. That 3 p.m. slump where you reach for coffee or snacks? Gone. Why? Bread spikes your blood sugar rapidly, and then it hits rock bottom. Without those sudden spikes, your energy remains stable. My brain fog cleared. I could think more clearly. I could focus for longer. It felt like someone had cleaned a dirty window in my mind. This is not a placebo effect. Studies show that wheat-derived compounds cross the blood-brain barrier and affect cognition. When you remove them, clarity returns. My digestion improved significantly. Less gas, less bloating, and more regular digestion. My gut bacteria were rebalancing, and the scale started moving. By day 14, I had lost 6 pounds, about 2.7 kilograms. At this point, it was mostly water and inflammation, but it was visible progress. People started making comments like, "You look different. Did you lose weight? Your skin looks better." The external changes were now becoming visible. Week 2 was the proof of this, and this wasn't deprivation. It was a liberation. My body was finally getting what it needed and shedding what it didn't. Week 3. The transformation accelerates. My inflammation markers were dropping. I know because I got tested. CRP, one of my inflammation markers, dropped by 40%. a 40% reduction in inflammation, and in just 3 weeks, just by removing bread from my life. No medication, no supplements, just by subtracting. My joint pains, which I had accepted by saying, "I'm just getting older," started to decrease. It turns out it wasn't aging. It was a wheat-induced inflammation. My sleep improved significantly. A deeper sleep. I was waking up truly rested. The gut-brain connection was healing. My cravings had completely disappeared. I could walk past a bakery and feel absolutely nothing, meaning the addiction was broken. Weight loss continued. Total loss on day 21. 9 pounds, about 4 kilograms. It wasn't just water going away anymore. My body was burning the fat it had held onto for years. My belly fat in particular was shrinking. Visceral fat, the dangerous fat around the organs, is directly linked to insulin spikes. No bread, no spike, no storage signal. By the end of the 3rd week, I felt like a completely different person. Much more energy than I've had in years. A clear mindset, a lighter body, and zero desire to go back. Week 4. The new normal. At this point, not eating bread wasn't a challenge. It was just how I ate. New habits had formed, and new neural pathways had been established. Final results: 12 pounds, about 5.5 kilograms, lost. A 2-inch, about 5 centimeters, reduction in my waist. Energy levels I hadn't felt since my 20s, but the numbers don't reflect the whole picture. Mental clarity, a balanced mood, sleep quality, the freedom of getting rid of those cravings. On the 25th day, I ate bread just once to test it. Within hours, the bloating and brain fog returned. My body was telling me everything I needed to know. That one-time exposure taught me more than any study. My body doesn't want bread. It never did. I was just addicted, and I didn't know it. On day 30, I looked in the mirror and saw a different person. Not just physically, I had proven to myself that I was in control. Not my cravings, not the food industry, me. Let me give you the scientific summary of why this works. First, removing wheat eliminates zonulin triggers. Your gut lining heals, and intestinal permeability decreases. Inflammation drops throughout your entire body. Second, removing wheat stabilizes blood sugar. If there's no spike, there's no crash. Stable insulin means your body can finally access stored fat. Third, removing wheat breaks the addiction cycle. Gliadorphins clear from your system. Your brain's reward system returns to normal. Cravings disappear. Fourth, your gut microbiome rebalances. While beneficial bacteria multiply, harmful bacteria that fed on wheat die off. Digestion reaches optimal levels. 4 mechanisms, all triggered just by removing a single food from your life. Should you quit bread? Here is my honest answer. If you have any of these, chronic fatigue, brain fog, digestive issues, stubborn belly fat, joint pain, skin problems, try living bread-free for 30 days and see what happens. You don't have to be a celiac patient to see the benefits. Most people have some degree of wheat sensitivity. They just don't know it because they've never stopped eating it. Is bread bad? No. Is modern processed bread problematic for most people? Science says yes. If you are going to eat bread, choose ancient grains, sourdough, properly fermented, and of course, in limited quantities. Your body will thank you. But try those 30 days first. Let your body tell you the truth. 30 days without bread taught me that the things we accept as normal are not always good for us. Sometimes, our staple foods are the problems themselves. Your body knows what it needs. You just have to be willing to listen. Subscribe for more experiments in health science. The truth is right there on your plate, and you just need to see it.